Good evening, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan, and welcome to your very wet and stormy Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. It was a very cool day here in the capital city and across the Big Bend region with all the cloud cover and rain we've had for today. 80 degrees is our temperature right now at Tallahassee. We got up to 82 degrees as our high, 81 up towards Quincy as well as in Bainbridge. The reason why temperatures are so low and well below average for this time of year, all the rain associated with this frontal system still back in Mississippi, slowly making its way off to the east. We still have a flash flood watch in effect until tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. So you might want to be aware that there could be some flooded roadways if some of those showers go over the same places again and again. Tonight, 74 degrees with thunderstorms, very likely 70% chance. And your headline, we're going to continue with this wet pattern for the rest of the work week. And that flash flood watch is into effect again until tomorrow evening. However, by the time we get into next week, more typical summer weather will return. Now let's send off to Dylan with a look at our first local.
Thank you very much, Nigel. We're going to compare today like we've seen other days, and you can see our actual temperature that we got to today was much below average. 83 was our high today, but our average is 92, so we're well below that. All that rain and that moisture really cooling things off. With our lows, though, we're about the same, where it's 73 here. And as we look at a rainfall almanac as well, you're going to see today we observed 2.27 inches of rain. We are 2 inches above normal for this time of year. Same with the month. I mean, we just started the month of August today. It's August 1st. And for the year, we are above average. So we're seeing a lot wetter conditions now than we've seen, and we're going to see the pattern continue for the next couple of days. As we look at our current temperature, only feeling about 80 degrees, which isn't the best condition, or isn't too bad, but it's cloudy and muggy out, 80 degrees, and it feels like 85. So it's very moist and cloudy outside, keeping us cool, and that's the pattern throughout the region. Nowhere breaking into the 90s, all staying into the low 80s and the high 70s for now. As we look at our dew points, this is what's really making it a rainmaker. Look at these dew points, 75 in Perry, a lot of moisture just coming in off the Gulf. Then you can see all these winds off the Gulf and all this tropical moisture making those showers really be fueled, and you're going to see that pattern continue for today. Low pressure system up in the northeast, draping down a cold front, not going to cool things off, but bring in a lot of the rain for the next couple of days. We do have that flash flood watch in from Tallahassee and Wakulla County everywhere westward in Florida. And we're going to see that pattern continue tonight into tomorrow. Rain throughout our area, clearing up now, but it was very rainy this morning and afternoon. As we look at our next 24 hours, we're going to see the rain continue. Even into tonight, we're going to still see rain showers like we did yesterday, pattern continuing, and then into tonight, as later tonight, you're going to still see those showers. You might hear some thunder and some strong rains as you're trying to go to sleep. Then as you wake up into tomorrow, you're going to still see that rain around. Make sure you have your rain jacket. You didn't want to forget it today. You don't want to forget it tomorrow. It's a bad day to forget it. You're going to get soaked. You might even want to bring your raincoat and an umbrella just to be sure you're dry. It's just going to be a lot of rain. It's a hit or miss kind of day. So you might get some rain, but you might not get a lot of rain for a little bit, and then big showers will come through the area, and through the afternoon we will see those showers continue. But after that, we will start to see some relief. Tonight, though, getting down back into our 70s and cooling off, but still rain chances around. And for tomorrow as well, another cooler day. 79 is our forecasted high, so not breaking the 80s, but it's still another rainy and moist one out there. As our next 7 days show us, we're going to have a 90% chance of rain. I'm 90% saying you should bring your rain jacket with you tomorrow. And then Friday, we're going back to about average 50%. And then by Saturday, the low pressure system starts to move its way out. Things start to clear out, and we get back to seasonal averages for our temperatures and for our rain chances. Now let's give it over to Jake.
Thanks, Dylan. It's a tale of two southeasts, really, if you look across our regional temperature spread. All these 90s and sunny skies off to the west in parts of Texas, Louisiana, Shreveport at 92 degrees. But as I step over this way, the eastern portions of the southeast, like Atlanta, Montgomery, Charlotte, this entire corridor, essentially from southwest to northeast, getting plenty of rainfall. And all of this area is actually under some flooding concerns for the next couple of days. That flash flood watch that we saw here in Tallahassee also extends really through parts of Alabama, Georgia, even all the way up into the mid-Atlantic and northeast. And the dew points reflect this as well. Plenty of moisture off to the east here on the eastern side of this upper level trough that's really been making its presence felt for much of the region the last couple of days. That's why you see that 74-degree dew point in Tallahassee, 72 in Montgomery, but off to our west, much drier air filtering in out of the north. We tend to see this kind of flow around these troughs at the upper levels and even at the surface here. So that's why we see that 57-degree dew point reflective of some drier air towards the surface here. So combine the heat index, or combine the humidity and the temperature, we get the heat index still feeling nice and toasty off in parts of Texas, although a little bit better than what we saw a couple of weeks ago, where many of these areas were cracking triple digits with the air temperature. It feels like 96 currently in San Antonio, and at least some relief in some of these rain-cooled spots in the eastern portions of the southeast, although much of Florida, like Key West and Tampa, for example, are still feeling quite toasty out there. Here's the wind speed and direction. A lot of these winds coming out of the south here. You see this convergence over the eastern Gulf of Mexico, which is essentially the origin spot for a lot of these thunderstorms that have been moving off from the southwest to the northeast through our region throughout the day. Here's that satellite and radar to show you exactly that. Really moving through this flood watch area here in Atlanta and areas to the north of that getting hit pretty hard as of now. As for the next 24 hours, hopefully you should see a little bit of that activity fading out overnight tonight. However, we cannot rule out the possibility of some showers and storms in these regions. Clear skies off to our west, really a continuation of the trend that we saw yesterday as well as today for much of the southeast. So for tonight, 68 degrees in Shreveport, 64 in Little Rock. Clear skies off to our west, really west of the Mississippi River in particular. And off to the east, the threat of thunderstorms sticks around overnight with some slightly warmer temperatures, although in the afternoon tomorrow, things will be just a little bit cooler. Some spots might not even crack the 80-degree point in parts of Alabama, Georgia, as well as even right here in North Florida with that high of 76 degrees in Atlanta in your forecast. So now we're going to zoom out to the national picture with Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. The same story is the main story in the national forecast. That trough in the eastern two-thirds of the country causing a lot of rain and cooler temperatures. 76 once again in Atlanta, only 80 in Tallahassee. A lot of these spots are rain-cooled, and there's a lot of rain in these spots as well. We're going to get into that just a bit. Out towards the plains, though, it's in the 80s, but it's not feeling very oppressive because you're behind that cold front. The dew points are lower, and it feels much nicer outside. You can see 60-degree dew point in Kansas City, 51 in Dallas. Now, ahead of the first front, high dew points, lots of moisture coming in from the Gulf and from the Atlantic. 70s all the way up to New England. And then we also have a little bit of an increase in your moisture ahead of the second cold front right around southern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. So a little higher dew point in Minneapolis because of that. The satellite and radars does show you those two cold fronts. First front bringing in lots of moisture again from the Gulf and the Atlantic. More persistent shower and thunderstorm activity down towards the southeast. Let's zoom into that a little bit closer. You can see how much, just a constant feed of moisture. And basically, these storms have been training over the same areas for a lot of the day. So as a result, we have flash flooding concerns until Thursday evening for the North Florida and Southern Alabama regions. And for North Georgia, your flooding concerns will last until Friday morning based on this flash flood watch. Up towards the northeast, a very similar story, but it's not as persistent in terms of your rain coverage. However, the Mid-Atlantic has seen a lot of rain over the last few weeks, so that's the reason why we have a flash flood watch in place for them until Thursday evening and Friday morning as well. Now, off towards the northern Midwest, you can see the second cold front giving some thunderstorm and some severe weather, severe thunderstorm warning for northern Wisconsin. Firestone Country Club, where the Bridgestone Invitational is this week, is sandwiched in between these two fronts. And this second front is really going to stall out over the and fizzle out over the Cleveland region as we head to the weekend. So there's going to be some slight thunderstorm activity in the northern Midwest over the weekend, but not too much thunderstorm activity. Off towards the southwest, we do have the monsoon again kicked into high gear. Some flash flood warnings in northern Arizona, but in the urban areas with high pressure aloft, you have a lot of air quality concerns due to very stagnant air. So an air quality warning until Saturday evening over there. We do have some drought concerns also in the southwest, and the monsoon is not really making any dent in that. Still, tonight, cooler across the center part of the country. Similar story for tomorrow. And finally, for your Firestone forecast, we are expecting some scattered shower activity, but that front in the Midwest will dissipate. Now let's send it off to Dylan with Florida.
Thanks. We don't care about golf here, but we do have your Florida temperatures. We're looking at our dew points, actually. We see high moisture concentrated throughout the entirety of the state. A lot of moisture. That's due to that low pressure system coming into our area and making it feel very, very moist outside. And this pattern is going to continue, sorry about that, for the next couple of days. And we're going to see the moisture stick around and make it feel icky sticky, as Jordan Fraser would say. And as we look at our radar, down in South Florida, things are pretty calm. We're seeing those sea breeze showers come off. Nothing too crazy, just a spotty shower or two. I'll be heading down there in just a couple of days at the end of the semester. As we move farther up the state, you do see a concentration of strong storms south of Orlando right now and just about on top of it. And that's not the big story. It's the western panhandle of Tallahassee, or of Florida. You got Leon County and Wakulla County. Everywhere westward has a flash flood watch in effect from today until tomorrow night. And look at all this rain. It's like a blanket of rain, not breaking up much. And this is going to keep coming on, just rain and rain and rain throughout the next 2 days. And you're going to see it through the night, the day, just not stopping. It's not those typical sea breeze showers. And as we look at the next 24 hours, much of the rain concentrated to the northern part. You can see parts of Jacksonville and Gainesville start to get in on that lots of rain, and that continues tomorrow too. As this front moves eastward, we're going to see a lot of the rain start to move eastward as well. Still really concentrated on the western part. We'll look at our rainfall totals for the next 2 days forecast in just a second, but you can see a blanket of rain on the northern part of the state moving eastward into tomorrow. As we look at our 2-day rainfall totals, you're going to see 3 inches really situated around Apalachicola for the next 2 days. The farther you go out, we're going to see about 2 to 2.5 inches here in Tallahassee. Down in South Florida, only 0.25 inches, so nothing too bad. But regions seeing a lot of rain for the next 2 days. We will be seeing above average conditions. For tonight, though, cooling down, not too much in South Florida, but cooling down in the northern part, just the rain really making it feel muggy and gross, and rain chances throughout the entirety of the state, really concentrated in the northern part. And then for tomorrow, again, those rain chances around for the entirety of the state, concentrated in the northern part. You can see it's cooler there because they're going to see a lot more rain in their area, and farther down south, it's going to be warmer. Now let's give it over to Jake for a last local look.
Thanks, Dylan. We're going to take it home, starting off with our current conditions in Tallahassee. Just about 6:15 here, 80 degrees under cloudy skies, feeling a little bit warmer at 85 on that heat index right about now. Winds are out of the south-southeast at about 7 miles per hour. You notice it's a bit cooler of a day out there. We almost set our record low maximum temperature, but we were just above that by 1 degree with our high of 83 degrees in Tallahassee today. Locally, not many spots are too far above 80 degrees at all. 81 in Perry, Valdosta, Bainbridge, as well as Quincy. Many of these spots have not even made it to the 85-degree point, as that rain has been rather widespread throughout the entirety of the day. We woke up to quite a deluge of rain right here in Tallahassee as we made our way over to campus and work this morning. The dew points are largely in the middle 70s, 75 in Quincy, 76 in Apalachicola, reflective of that southwesterly flow that we're seeing at the surface, pulling in all of that Gulf moisture. But that is not limited to just the surface. This is a deep layer sort of feature throughout the entire first, say, 10 kilometers of the atmosphere, which is really helping to increase our both the chances for rain as well as the intensity when these storms do flare up over the Gulf of Mexico. If we combine the humidity and the temperature, we're going to get our heat index here, and it's not really feeling too bad out there. 85 degrees is that heat index right now in Tallahassee. On a typical sunny day, we can see these values getting closer to 100 degrees even around this time of day. So a little bit of a double-edged sword here, so we get the benefit of cooler temperatures, which is at least nice for us. Here's that satellite and radar. You faintly see these darker green colors here indicating that flash flood watch that is in effect for Tallahassee westward through tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Some strong thunderstorms starting to move in through Calhoun and starting to cross over into Liberty County across the Apalachicola River here into Bluntstown. Areas like that going to be seeing some pretty intense rain as well as some embedded lightning with these storms as they move their way off from southwest to northeast. For tonight's forecast, temperatures largely in the lower 70s, except for the coastal areas, which are going to be seeing these slightly warmer temperatures, 75 in St. Mark's, as well as Apalachicola. Should continue to see some storms flaring up to our southwest over the Gulf and eventually moving their way off to the northeast. Tomorrow, many spots may not even hit the 80-degree point, as really if this rain tends to really train from southwest to northeast, we could be seeing these rain-cooled numbers essentially continuing through the entirety of the afternoon tomorrow in some areas. For the next 7 days, better days and brighter days are on the horizon here at the weekend, getting back to our seasonal 30 to 40% rain chances. Temperatures in the lower 90s and even into the early parts of next week as we say goodbye to the summer term and start getting ready for fall here. And of course, football season in Tallahassee. That 2-day rainfall forecast, we see a potential for 2 to 3 inches of rain. Even localized areas could be seeing some more as we move in through the rest of the week. So again, that flash flood watch is in effect for some of these more intense thunderstorms. And of course, you can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. All 4 of those social media platforms. Our shows are on every Monday through Thursday at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow's our last one for the summer, so we hope to see you then. For all of us here at FSU Weather, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.